Hi, I'm John Gordon, the social media and mobile news editor for Minnesota Public Radio News. I'm the guy who writes most of our tweets and does Facebook updates, that kind of thing. And I'm here with Eric Ringham, who is the commentary editor for Minnesota Public Radio, and he's the guy behind today's question that you hear on the radio, that you contribute to on the web, and see on Facebook from time to time. And we're here to talk about the answers that we get on a daily basis to today's question. So, Eric, today's question was, does the debate over same-sex marriage have a place in Minnesota politics? Let me ask you why that question and why you phrased it that way.
Well, it's this is one of the questions that we've asked in a series of questions every Monday. We're asking the candidates for governor of Minnesota a question that we think is pertinent to the Minnesota gubernatorial race. So that's why we asked about that topic. Why we phrased it that way, maybe a little harder. I think we wanted to get at, actually what I meant by phrasing it that way was to get at whether people thought that it's an issue that is legitimately part of the current political debate in Minnesota, by which I think I was implying that maybe it's not one of the main issues in Minnesota politics right now. And many of our respondents, in fact, answered that they think it's not really an issue. They think it's being used as a wedge issue. So the question really was, is it really implicitly a legitimate part of the political debate right now?
How would you characterize the bulk of the answers that we received on nprnewsq.org and Facebook?
Well, if you sense any ambiguity in the way I ask the question, that's certainly what we got in the answers, because people seem to see Minnesota politics as being either a place where you affect good public policy change or a place where you get up to political mischief. And most of the answers seem to come from people who are in favor of same-sex marriage. We got really only one outright answer in bold opposition to same-sex marriage. Most of them seem to be sympathetic to same-sex marriage, and then the question of whether or not they think it belongs in Minnesota politics has to do more with their view of Minnesota politics than it does with their view of same-sex marriage.
Would you like to share some specific examples of answers to today's question?
Sure. The one that was strongly negative, let's get him right up front. Marriage is between one man and one woman. Homosexuals can call it anything they want other than marriage. I think the politicians have a lot more relevant work to do. That's from James. And we also got one person who answered something a little bit sideways. She said, no person should have the choice to marry unless everyone has the choice to marry. That's from Nita. But the vast majority of them said things like this. I fear that until the voters stop rewarding those who demagogue on this and similar wedge issues, we'll continue to see these things as a prominent part of the debate. That's from Paul. And politics is supposed to be about forming policies that could potentially affect the lives of thousands of Minnesotans. Of course, the same-sex issue needs to be part of the discussion. That was from Matt.
You mentioned earlier that the gubernatorial candidates have answered today's questions. They do so on Monday. Where can folks read the answer?
They can see it on our blog at nprnewsq.org under today's question, and they can also listen this afternoon to All Things Considered. Those answers will be played, audio versions of those answers will be played on the air on All Things Considered this afternoon.
And finally, how about a preview for today's question? I know you must already have it crafted.
It's a work in progress, and I'm going to be coy about it for now.
Sounds like you're not quite done yet.
I'm not done.
All right.
I'm doing this instead.
John Gordon signing out with Eric Ringham.
Thanks.